Hi, my name is Ranveer Dhillon with Delta Commercial, and today we're going to go over the Architectural Design Series faucet and soap dispenser kits, and we're going to troubleshoot if your soap dispenser and faucet unit is not working. The first thing you want to check is to make sure that you're actually getting power to your unit. So if you have a battery-powered unit, you want to make sure that the batteries are in the right orientation. You want to also check the casing to make sure that there's no debris or corrosion on the terminals. And you want to make sure that your batteries are actually charged. So you can check this by holding down the mode button for about 10 seconds and it'll give you a readout of your battery level. If you have a hardwire unit, the first thing you want to make sure is that you're getting power to your converter. And to do this, you can take a look at the converter and see that the blue LED is lit. If your converter doesn't have the blue LED lit, that means it's not getting power to it. In this case, you might want to call an electrician and take a look at the voltage that it's outputting to make sure that your transformer is providing adequate voltage and amperage to the unit. If it is lit, that means that your converter is receiving power from the transformer, but it's not getting to the driver board. This could mean that you're getting insufficient power coming through the converter. In this case, you might need to replace the converter or contact an electrician to troubleshoot the issue. The next thing that we want to check is the wiring. Are the wires in contact with other electrical components or any metallic surfaces? If so, you may need to clean up the wiring. All of the cables should be organized and neatly routed using the plastic cable ties that are provided with the unit or other suitable methods to avoid touching any conductive surfaces. This could be causing grounding failures. The green ground wire off of the converter must be grounded to a proper building ground. The third check is the location of the faucet and soap dispenser combo unit. They should not be mounted near any sources of electrical noise. This can cause interference with the capacitance field. Don't mount close to instant water heaters, deck-mounted hand dryers, ozone generators, UV sterilizers, LED mirrors, or metal backsplashes, etc. These issues can be addressed usually by adjusting the sensitivity settings. If you have any questions about what can cause interference and how to resolve it, you can always contact Delta Commercial Technical Support for assistance. The fourth check is the transformer. There must only be one transformer per combination unit, and it can't be ganged with other faucets or fixtures. And do not use the control box to mount the transformer. After you check your power source and you've determined that you're getting power, now we need to make sure that you're getting water. Starting from the shutoff supply, make sure that there's water flowing through it. You can do this by attaching a braided hose from the shutoff and placing it into a bucket. If water is coming through the hose, that means water is flowing through the shutoff valve. Now this next one is really important. Make sure that you're using the supplied polymer braided hoses that are included in the box for all of your water connections. Next, let's take a look at the solenoid. Look at the inlet portion and it'll have a flow controller. This flow controller will have a specific color identifying the flow rate. Let's make sure that it's clean and free of debris.
There is also a removable filter on the side of the solenoid. Take it out and make sure there is no debris and clean it. Then attach it back to the solenoid.
Finally, let's check the screen of the outlet in the spout. Let's remove it and clean it and make sure there's no debris in there. If all of these steps don't help, then a new solenoid needs to be ordered. After you've determined that you have power and water, we need to go through the electrical components and check those as well. First, check your driver board. If you're receiving power but the driver board is not illuminated, this could mean that the driver board needs to be replaced. If your driver board is illuminated, it's receiving power. Go through the settings and take a look at the sensor sensitivity, the soap range sensitivity, the water run-on, and the metering modes. If any of these settings aren't correct, they may need to be adjusted and it might be best to just reset it back to factory settings. You can do that by using the mode button to get to the function F and then use the toggle button to reset it back to factory settings. If after all of these checks, it's still not working, we need to make sure that it's set up correctly.
The distance between faucet and soap spouts should be minimum 7 inches apart. However, if you feel they might be causing interference, the sensitivity can be reduced.
Next, ensure the soap sensor is threaded to the faucet sensor. Ensure the sensors are secured properly on the shanks. This is another really important part. Off of the faucet sensor, you'll find a basin grounding clip with a yellow jacket over it. The jacket needs to be removed only if you're using a conductive sink or countertop surface. If you are using a conductive sink, a black spacer is required at the base of the spout and a gray spacer underneath. If you're not using a conductive sink or countertop surface, don't remove the yellow jacket and leave it as is. The sensor and power cables must be separated. Don't allow the sensor cables to touch any metal objects, including drainage or water supply lines or stops or anything else that might be in the vicinity. The last item to check is the setting of the soap. The combo unit is set to foaming soap as a factory default, but if you want to go over to liquid soap, follow these steps to make the changeover. First, we're going to move the setting on the soap pump to the liquid side. Next, we're going to remove the air line, which is the gray rubber line, and keep only the clear line from the assembly.
Next, remove the foaming soap mixing chamber from the soap line.
In a bag, you should find a little gray union. Attach the union onto the clear line using the metal clamps provided, and attach the clear hose with the adapter to the short hose from the dispenser with the supplied clamps. Then, press the clear hose onto the soap pump and clamp it together. You'll want to install the liquid tip onto the soap spout using the aerator. Using the spout outlet tool provided, remove the plastic ring from the spout on the dispenser and install the 2-piece liquid soap outlet. If this video wasn't able to help you resolve your problem, for additional assistance, please contact Delta Commercial Technical Support.